Hey guys, this is Bigtimeslimjim. It's been a while since I've made a daily fantasy video, so I thought I'd get back to it. At some point, I'll add some graphics and stuff to my videos as I post them. But I want to go through and do some MLB daily fantasy plays today for Monday, May 1st. And let's get right at it. I believe that the, chalkier pitchers are going to be Kershaw, Luis Severino, Michael Wacha, and probably Amir Garrett. I think a lot of people might jump back on him, especially pairing with Kershaw. I could see accounts for playing all those pitchers, but those are going to be your chalkier pitchers today. So if you're playing cash games, I think Kershaw is the play. I think if you're playing cash, you just play Kershaw and get your bats. There are some cheaper bats out there in some spots today, so I think you could fit them in, but I'm not saying by a price per point play that he's the best play today. Severino has the strikeout potential. He also has the blowout potential, but he's going to be high owned. So I think if you're playing tournaments or cash, I think Severino is going to be a play that a lot of people might play with Kershaw, or they might go mid-price pitchers. So for pitchers, I'll try to get to the point. I think for GPPs, there's a couple of guys I like. I like Rick Porcello against Baltimore. Baltimore has strikeout potential. They're always up there. They're boom or bust offense. So I like Porcello. Probably another kind of off-the-wall play, because I just noticed the lineups, is Longo's not in the lineup for Tampa Bay. So I really love Chin as kind of a GPP play. He's cheap across the industry. He doesn't have huge upside. So if you're looking for a huge strikeout game, he's not going to have that. But if you looked at the Tampa Bay's offense today, you have Ricky Weeks hitting cleanup. They don't, of course, against a lefty, they don't have Corey Dickerson in there. They got, it's a really weak lineup today. And I kind of like Chin as a one-off. Jake Oradizzi's not the greatest pitcher in the world. I think Miami could put up some runs. So I really like Chin today in this spot. I think as a great GPP play. Not a lot of people's going to be on him, in my opinion. And if you're looking for another guy who I think is going to be semi-owned, but not much, is Julio Teheran. I believe that he's a great GP play to kind of get off the chalk, which I think is Wacha, Severino, Amir Garrett, and Kershaw. I think a lot of people will go back to the well with Garrett. I think a lot of people are saying he's going to be low owned. He's not going to be low owned. I think he's going to be a very great pair with Kershaw. So I like Teheran. I think he's faced the Mets now. This will be his fourth time this year, and that does scare me a little bit. But two of those times he put up over 20. The Mets without Cespedes, I think the only bat in that lineup today that I think as a one-off is a good play is Jay Bruce. That's really the only guy I'm really scared of in this matchup today. Atlanta's offense is rolling. Freddie Freeman is in play in tournaments and cash today. He's on fire, and I don't see any reason to fade him today. So as pitchers, that's who I like today. Now we're going to go offense. I think the chalk stacks are going to be Cubs, the Astros, and then I think a lot of people might kind of be on games that the wind's blowing out. I think a lot of people will be on Pittsburgh. The way the Yankees have been swinging the bat, I think they could be on some of the Yankees today. The Indians against Norris, I think is going to be kind of chalky. There's a couple stacks I like. I like Miami as a stack that not a lot of people are going to be on. I like Boston. I'm a fan of Bundy as a pitcher for Baltimore. And he's pitched well, but this is going to be like the third time he's faced Boston this year. And he's kind of 1-1 against them, so to speak. He pitched well against them one time, and then one time he hasn't. I think Boston gets to him. I love Porcello today. He's going to be low owned at his price point, especially over a DraftKings where I play most of the time, where I can only play at the moment. He's 9,500. There's several 8,000 to 7,000 plays that a lot of people are going to say they have just as much upside. And so, I like them as a stack. But if you're going catcher, I think I think you could go a couple guys. But if he's in the lineup, which I haven't noticed if he is yet or not, because I'm kind of doing this right when lineups are coming out, and I don't know if I have their lineup yet, is if he's in the lineup, which I think he should be, Brian McCann, I think he has the upside that you want to GPPs because, he can hit the long ball and he could certainly hit a home run today. The other guys who I think could be kind of high owned is Cameron Rupp and Salvador Perez. I think those two might be kind of the chalkier options at catcher today. And even McCann's going to be kind of up there in ownership, but he just has huge upside, and I love McCain in this matchup. At first base, if you're going first base, it's going to be the two chalk plays are going to be Rizzo and Freeman. But the way Freeman's swinging the bat right now, I can't fade him. I mean, he's getting you 15 to 20 every single game. He's the hottest hitter in all of baseball. He's one of the best hitters in all of baseball. Against Gelsman, I think Rizzo has a little bit tougher matchup, even though Vincent Velasquez can give up long balls for sure. But he also has big strikeout potential. I know the wind's blown out in Wrigley. That's why they're going to be chalk. But every time I play the Cubs with the wind blowing out, they usually don't do all that well for me. And so I think fading the Cubs today is a great play in GPPs because everyone's going to have Cubs in their lineup. They're going to all have Cubs stacks. And so I like Freeman. I like Atlanta. I like Freeman. I like Kemp. I like the little Atlanta mini stack as well today. So that's a great play. For second base, the chalk's going to be Altuve. It's going to be Houston. So, of course, that's going to be going. I personally like, and even though it's going to be part of a stack that's going to be pretty popular, I love Josh Harrison today. I think since he's been moved to leadoff, I think that he makes, since Marte's been out suspended with PEDs, he's been moved to the one spot, and he's been producing since he's been in that number one spot. I love him. I like Dustin Pedroia today. I just like Boston in particular. For third base, I was kind of big on Longo, but since he's not in the lineup today, I'm going to have to go somewhere different. Some people I do like today as kind of a GPP play, I like Todd Frazier. He hits lefties really well. Vargas potentially could be kind of chalk today because he has pitched well this year. And the White Sox offense, to be fair, isn't all that great. So I think you could pair Frazier with Abreu, and that could be a great just mini stack that's going to be low owned because not many people like the White Sox offense, which they're not that good. But I think Frazier could do something today at third base. And really, another guy I think could go against Zach Davies is Jed Garrico. He's been hitting the lights out of the ball lately. He's a great play. I mean, he's hitting for a little power. He has his average up into 333. So he's a great play today. For shortstop, I believe Correa is going to be the chalk. But I think for just a tad bit under him on DraftKings, Xander Bogaerts, I think is a great play. Like I said, I love Boston today. I think they get after Bundy. Low-owned stack that could pay off dividends. So I love Bogaerts. I love Diaz for St. Louis. And I like Alex Bregman. He's shortstop eligible. Part of a Houston stack I don't think a lot of people is going to play if he's in the lineup. He hasn't done much this year, but I kind of like him as a play just because, he has potential. He's going to be low-owned, even with Houston being high-owned. And Francisco Lindor, I think, is a great play, too, up in the upper tier. With everyone going Correa, I think Lindor and Bogaerts being right under Correa price-wise, I think those kind of get overlooked. So I think a lot of people will be playing Correa or moving down to play like a Tim Anderson or someone even cheaper. Like a Jordy Mercer. Jordy Mercer is a good play, but I think he's going to be high-owned because we all know that he can hit lefties. And he's batting the 2-hole today. So, Jordy Mercer is going to be kind of high-owned. So if you're kind of looking at it, if people are paying up at pitcher, they're going to be playing Mercer just because of his matchup and his price. So that's who I kind of like at short. And for outfield, of course, I like Mookie Betts because I like Boston today. McCutchen, Polanco, I think are going to be high-owned. Pirates are going to be pretty high-owned in this slate. Schwarber, I'm just not the biggest fan of. He doesn't hit for average. He's not a guy, unless I think he's going to hit a bomb, that I usually like to play. And I know the Cubs are going to be high-owned, so I'm going to kind of, unless I'm playing cash games, I'm going to fade them. I like Christian Yelich. I love him today against Dizzy. I think he could go yard. He's playing well this year. And another guy that I kind of like, as a one-off, he's swinging the bat well. I kind of like Justin Upton and Billy Hamilton. Billy Hamilton's going to go base. Cole's not very good at holding runners. I think Hamilton can very well single, double, and a couple steals for you today. At 4,000, I think he could be a good play. I'm just not the biggest fan of Garrett Cole. He's had one good season, and other than that, he hasn't done much. So those are pretty much my plays today. Sorry, the video is kind of long. This is my first one I've done in a while, so I hope everybody has a great May 1st, and hopefully we can win lots of money. And this is Big Time Slim Jim, as I'm known across the industry. You can always find me on Twitter if you need to ask me any questions or ask me here on YouTube. Peace.